Comparing Bam from Tower of God to Jin Woo from Solo Leveling is like comparing apples to oranges, or perhaps in this case, like comparing a budding hero to an already seasoned powerhouse. I can't help but acknowledge the fundamental differences between these two characters and their respective worlds. Firstly, we have Bam, the protagonist of Tower of God, whose journey revolves around climbing the tower to find his dear friend Rachel. He has unique abilities and control over Shinsu, the essence of the tower. This power is nothing to scoff at, it's essentially limitless, allowing Bam to continuously grow and adapt. However, Bam isn't exactly sitting at the top of the food chain. Despite his remarkable strength, he's still a contender among many formidable opponents, especially the elusive high rankers. Along the way, he meets many friends and foes, and learns about the secrets and mysteries of the tower. He is also a very special being as he possesses an irregular status, meaning he entered the tower without being chosen by it. This grants him a great potential and power that surpasses most regulars who are the normal inhabitants of the tower. Bam's main strength is his ability to copy and learn any skill or technique he sees or experiences. He can also use multiple types of Shinsu. He can manipulate Shinsu to create various effects such as enhancing his physical abilities, creating weapons or shields, or even controlling space and time. He has also acquired several powerful items and allies throughout his climb, such as the Black March, a legendary sword that can ignite and increase its power, the Thorn, a fragment of a godlike being that can pierce through anything, and Kun Aguero Agnes, his best friend and strategist who always supports him with his cunning plans and inventions. On the other hand, we have Jin Woo, the protagonist of Solo Leveling, who is quite literally engineered to be the epitome of power. Utilizing the system, Jin Woo's strength knows almost no bounds as he continuously levels up. His journey made him an unparalleled figure in his universe. Even without the aid of his Shadow Army, Jin Woo stands as a formidable opponent, thanks to his mastery of the system and his role as the Shadow Monarch. His journey from the weakest hunter in Korea to becoming the strongest one in the world is just mind-blowing. Hunters are people who have awakened supernatural abilities after a mysterious portal opened on Earth, unleashing monsters in dungeons. Jin Woo was initially a rank E hunter who barely survived his missions and earned a little money. However, after a near-death experience in a double dungeon, he received a system that allowed him to level up his skills and abilities like a video game character. Son Jin Woo's got the Shadow Room, which basically turns him into a god among men. It's like he's playing chess while everyone else is stuck playing checkers. And his speed? It's so fast, it's like trying to catch a bullet with your teeth. Jin Woo's main strength is his system, which gives him access to various features and functions that enhance his performance as a hunter. He can increase his stats such as strength, speed, agility, intelligence, and more by leveling up or using items. He can learn new skills or upgrade existing ones by completing quests or using skill points. He can summon powerful shadows from the monsters or hunters he kills, who can fight for him or assist him in various ways. He can also use his inventory to store items or equipment that he finds or buys. Now, if you're familiar with the light novel, you know this guy is no joke. His power levels are off the charts, especially when he enters that Shadow Room. We're talking about near omnipotence here, and his speed? Forget about it. It's not just fast, it's on a whole nother level of how the heck do you even keep up with that? Will Bam be able to overcome Jin Woo's overwhelming power and speed? Will Jin Woo be able to handle Bam's mysterious abilities and allies? There's only one way to find out. Put them together in a showdown. Now, let's think about the hypothetical scenario of a showdown between these two titans. Would Bam stand a chance against Jin Woo even if we level the playing field? It's a tough call. Bam's arsenal includes the Thorn, Black March, White Souls, and the Red and Blue Thrissas, potent artifacts indeed. However, his inability to fully harness their power hampers his combat abilities. Meanwhile, Jin Woo boasts not only the system but also the might of the Shadow Monarch, elevating him to unprecedented levels of strength. Moreover, the setting plays a crucial role in this hypothetical confrontation. Tower of God characters are restricted to using Shinsu only within the tower itself. Outside its confines, their powers are significantly diminished, rendering them akin to mere mortals. On the contrary, solo leveling hunters can wield their powers both inside and outside dungeons, giving Jin Woo a considerable advantage in versatility and adaptability. Even if we strip away Jin Woo's Shadow Army and pit him against Bam in a one-on-one duel, the outcome seems heavily skewed in Jin Woo's favor. His sheer power, coupled with the strategic prowess honed through countless battles, makes him a force that Bam, in his current state, would struggle to overcome. But let's not discount Bam's potential for growth. As an irregular, his journey is characterized by constant evolution and discovery. Who's to say what heights he might reach in the future? Perhaps one day Bam will ascend to the ranks of the high rankers, standing shoulder to shoulder with the mightiest beings in the tower. While both Bam and Jin Woo are undeniably overpowered characters in their own right, the disparity in their abilities and circumstances make a direct comparison rather unfair. Each exists within the context of their respective narratives, facing unique challenges and adversities. Solo Leveling indeed presents a captivating premise with its focus on Jinwoo's journey from a weak hunter to an incredibly powerful entity. However, it's fair to say that the plot might not be as robust or intricate compared to the vast, intricate universe of Tower of God. In Tower of God, we're thrown into a world of immense depth where layers upon layers of lore and complex character motivations unfold with each chapter. The sheer scale and intricacy of the Tower's universe can be overwhelming, yet undeniably enriching for those willing to delve deep. But then, strength becomes a pivotal point of comparison. In Tower of God, we encounter characters with godlike abilities, astonishing speed, and strength that defy imagination. When we think about Bam and his evolving powers and the sheer might he displays, it's understandable why some might argue that he outshines Jin Woo in terms of raw strength. However, it's crucial to note the context. In Solo Leveling, Jin Woo's strength lies not only in his individual prowess, but also in the sheer numbers of his minions and strategic approach to battles. It's a different kind of power dynamic, one that relies on tactical thinking and resource management rather than sheer brute force. The comparison becomes even more intriguing when we consider one-on-one scenarios. Could Jin Woo, with all his minions, stand against a ranker like Bam? It's a question that sparks debate among fans, highlighting the complexities of power scaling in these two narratives. While Jin Woo's minions may pale in comparison to a ranker like Bam in terms of raw power, Jin Woo's strategic prowess and his ability to adapt to various situations might give him an edge in certain scenarios. But then again, Bam's inherent strength and potential growth make him a formidable opponent, even without tapping into all of his power-ups. So, who comes out on top? Well, it's not an easy question to answer. But if I had to pick a winner, I'd have to give the edge to Sun Jin Woo. I mean, come on, the guy practically bends reality to his will when he steps into that shadow room. It's like trying to fight a hurricane with an umbrella. But that's just my opinion. Maybe you see things differently. Maybe you think that Bam's got what it takes to take down the king. And you know what? That's okay. At the end of the day, it's all about the thrill of the fight and the excitement of seeing two titans clash. So, without any further ado, let the real action begin. In the heart of a desolate wasteland where the sky hung heavy with ominous clouds, two titans stood facing each other. On one side, Sun Jin Woo, the Shadow Monarch, emanating an aura of darkness that seemed to swallow the very essence of light. On the other side, the 25th Bam, a young man with eyes full of determination and power pulsating through his veins. It was a clash of worlds, a collision of powers that would shake the very foundations of existence. Jin Woo's eyes glinted with an otherworldly gleam, his shadowy form pulsating with energy as he prepared to unleash his full might. Meanwhile, Bam stood tall with his expression unreadable as he focused his energy, readying himself for the battle ahead. With a sudden burst of movement, Jin Woo lunged forward, his speed exceeding the limits of human comprehension. Bam reacted instinctively, his body moving with uncanny precision as he dodged Jin Woo's initial onslaught. The ground trembled beneath their feet as the force of their clash sent shockwaves rippling through the air. Bam countered with a barrage of Shinsu-infused attacks, each strike imbued with the power of the tower itself. Jin Woo deftly evaded each blow, his movements fluid and graceful as he danced around Bam's onslaught. With a flick of his wrist, Jin Woo summoned forth his shadows, a legion of spectral warriors ready to do his bidding. But Bam was not to be outdone. With a determined grimace, he called upon the power of the thorn, unleashing a torrent of energy that cut through Jin Woo's shadows like a hot knife through butter. The air crackled with electricity as the two forces clashed, each determined to emerge victorious. As the battle raged on, it became clear that neither combatant was willing to back down. Jin Woo's speed and agility were matched only by Bam's raw power and determination. Blow after blow was exchanged, each strike resonating with the force of a thunderbolt. But just when it seemed like the tide of the battle was turning in Jin Woo's favor, Bam unleashed his ultimate technique. With a primal roar, he tapped into the full extent of his power, his aura radiating with an intensity that seemed to eclipse the very sun itself. In a blinding flash of light, Bam's form underwent a transformation unlike anything Jin Woo had ever seen. His eyes blazed with an otherworldly glow as he unleashed a wave of energy that threatened to consume everything in its path. With a single strike, he shattered Jin Woo's defenses, leaving him vulnerable and exposed. But Jin Woo was not one to be defeated so easily. With a fierce determination, he rallied his remaining strength, channeling the power of the Shadow Monarch into a devastating counterattack. The very fabric of reality seemed to warp and twist as Jin Woo unleashed his full might, his aura pulsating with a dark energy that threatened to engulf everything in its path. The world seemed to hold its breath as the two combatants collided, the force of their blows sending shockwaves rippling through the air. And then, in an instant, it was over. Bam staggered backwards, his strength spent, his body battered and bruised. Jin Woo stood before him, a faint smile playing at the corner of his lips, his form untouched by the battle. With a weary sigh, Bam lowered his gaze, knowing that he had been bested. But even in defeat, he felt a sense of pride, knowing that he had faced his opponent with all the courage and determination he could muster. And as Jin Woo watched his fallen foe, a sense of respect filled his heart. For in Bam, he had found a worthy adversary, a warrior whose strength and resolve matched his own. With a nod of acknowledgement, Jin Woo turned and vanished into the shadows, leaving Bam alone on the battlefield. And though the battle was over, the memory of their clash would live on.